Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a balanced rack, but it's not non-bingo-y with all these high-scoring tiles. So, what I'd like to do is get rid of all of them, or at least two of them. Now I'm looking at which of them can go around the U, and it's just the M, which can go above the U. So I could play camo. I think this is good. For 24, J goes well with I and N. This doesn't give much away. This also plays underneath nub, but fewer tiles go in front of K than after it. I am going with this. Ooh, invalid. Cami is good. Aha, Cami is good, and that plays underneath for 24. Wow, very unbalanced rack. Only one vowel, which can go under the K. Nub only takes an S after it. And the number of scoring tiles has increased. I now have 4 on my rack, 3 on the opening one. But there is some synergy with the C and the H and the W and the H. So a play of Chow would reduce the number of big tiles to just 1, which is my goal, 1 or 0. And Chow at the moment plays in row J, but that does look like the best lane, and opponent goes there. However, I do now have Chow here for 42 points. Wow, what a fantastic pick. I draw vowels, I draw the blank. So, what can I do here? Do I have a bingo? I don't think I do. Or do I? So, I'm not seeing a 7. B-I. Wow, so close. Jaborandi is good. This rack plus B-I. I don't think there is one there. So I really do want to get rid of the J now, since everything else in the rack is good. Can I do that in row M? What goes after H-O? N does, and D does. Wow, if I play gin here, I'm placing a J over a double word square. Look at this ladder. Very restricted as to what one can do. By takes an O in front, but nothing else that I've got. So, I can play gin here, leaving a fantastic rack leave and opening the board up, which I'd like to do because I would like to get a bingo next turn and get it down. So, gin for 34. Ooh, am I going to bingo with this? Gosh, 5 vowels. Well, there are 5 vowel 8s. But I think I'm going to need the help of a floating consonant, which would be the N or the C. And I'm not seeing anything with the C. So, do I have a bingo? This rack plus an N. There could be. N looks like it goes well with this rack. Agirine. Oh no, that doesn't work. It only has 1 A. And opponent takes that out, so I can stop this hunt and probably abandon the search for a bingo. There's column 8 for bingos ending so it could end IUM. Not seeing anything. I don't think there's a 7 here. If there is, it may play. Bid takes an A in front. So it could end I-A-E. No, I'm not seeing one. N-U and I-F don't look helpful. So let me sort this rack out. And I'd like to keep the board open. So I could play just AI for 10 points. I could play AIA, one square to the left, which takes an R in front, which I have, but no R's have been played. But it massively sorts the rack out. And I'm almost certain to bingo with this rack leave. There are some great lanes. There's row G, there's column 14. Row N, column 1, row G for bingos ending in S. Only 12 points. Is there somewhere better for AIA? Well, there is above bid, but it's providing super hot spots, in particular this 5-letter route to the triple word square. And there's not much difference in score. I am going with this. Great, I am certainly bingoing. So I have Tavers and Funds. I have Variate and a Bid. Great, just 19 points from that opening I provided. Fantastic. Opponent provides access to a triple word square. So, do I have any bingo beginning with O? I have the over prefix with A-I-T. Let me consider this rack with an O. I don't think obviator is good. This rack plus an O. Not seen anything so far. Still nothing. Overtrain with 2 R's. Operative with an extra E. Now, what about an S? Nope. I could have an out word, but I don't. 14 minutes on my clock. That's variety. No, so what about variety here? 77 points. I don't think I will score anything more than that. I am going with this. Great for 7 random tiles. Not bingo-y, but I have the X, which is a good scoring tile, and I have some vowels. So I have FedEx on my rack. Is there anywhere good for that, or anywhere good for the X? Well, I do have FedEx in column 12 through this E of variety. Them takes an O in front. What if column 12 is blocked? Do I have any plays in row L? Not seeing any 4-letter plays which end in X. What about a 3-letter play? No, I don't think I do. Well, if opponent blocks FedEx, there may be other opportunities around variety. Rabbit is good for future reference. I don't have anything which goes after Hoa. Oh wow, FedEx remains available. Fantastic. Is this the play? Decent rack leave, 48 points. Did I have anything in row H? No, I don't think so. And getting rid of D, F and X in one go, pretty handy. I'm going with this. Well, again, not bad for random tiles, but not bingo-y. So I have gunmen on my rack. Ovum takes an N in front. My M can go in front of the E of FedEx. Now fun takes a G. No, not seeing anything there. I don't think genum is good. I have emunge as a 6. So I lead by 120, and it's me on turn. Oh wow, only 18 points for opponent. That's good news. But look at this, there's a spot for emunge or gunmen, and I think emunge is better because there's only one N to come. N is bingo-y, and it looks like there are a lot of vowels out there. So emunge for 32. Not great. Always a bit heart-sinking to see U and V on the rack together. So no bingo here. And not many vowels to play through. I was just thinking with an A, I could play Valor. There is the E of FedEx. There's the E of emunge. Onto an E, I could play Louvre, which does play in row A for very, very few points, but it completely sorts the rack out. It stops opponent bingoing in row A. And it turns over a lot of tiles with a blank and a Z to come, and 3 S's. Variety has taken out the S hook for nap. I have, wow, opponent plays an S for just 27 points, so they may well be nursing a second. I was just noticing that I have love on my rack, which gets rid of U and V. Is there anywhere good to play that? And I don't think there is. Louvre doesn't feel great. If opponent's got an S, they're probably not bingoing in row A. This is only 10 points. But it's massively sorting the rack out, and it's turning over 5 tiles with 27 in the bag. Still 12 minutes on my clock, so let me try and make the right move here. So I have an N for novum. This is the last U, and there's still a Q to come, so I needn't go out of my way to sacrifice points to get rid of the U. Gosh, this feels slightly dangerous, but it's 20 points. Burns all my vowels. Don't feel good about that. I've got Vuln on my rack. Oh, wow, yes. So I have Vuln here for 26 points, keeping a decent rack leave and providing nothing. Wow, that took a while to find, but I'm confident that it's the best move of the options I've considered. I am going with this. Not a good pick. Although I do draw a second S, that second S is more valuable for not being on opponent's rack than helping my own, since I already have one. But this is a long way from a bingo. No scoring tiles. Well, it's not massively a long way from a bingo. I can easily sort it out in one. Opponent really signalling that they do have that last S or a blank. Chew takes an S in front. But I lead by 110, so if I can keep scoring, I don't really need to sacrifice points to block this spot. So what to do? Do I really not have a bingo? There's this floating E. Through E and P, I would have doorsteps. And do I have a 7? If I did, it would probably play in row B. I don't think Strudes is good, spelt O-O. I think it's spelt O-U. Floating A, floating I, floating N. No, so how to sort this rack out? Everything is bingo-y. T doesn't take an O in front. F does take a T. I could play dot. Only 14 points. I can burn one of my S's. Just looking in row L, but Drost not good. I've got Ordo on my rack and Oda. Just looking in column 14 to see if any of those play. I don't have anything to go in front of you. 20 tiles in the bag, 9 minutes on my clock. This is a tricky rack. What do I have? Well, it's just T, which goes after NU. What about DOST? 22 points. I think that's better than anything I've seen. Yep. Okay. Wow, I draw the Z. I have Arothes on my rack. Oh, an opponent blocks that S spot. How galling. Always nice when you have a fancy play to get it down. Wow, opponent has created S spots several places on the board and suddenly pulls the plug on the only remaining one without having played the S. How galling. So I have Arothes, and I don't think there's anywhere for that. Chow doesn't take an S in front. Hoa takes an R. But IA, not good. However, I have a 90-point lead. Surely I can easily sort this rack out. Still 2 R's to come, and I've got 2 R's. Well, I do have res, but that can't be best. I can play my Z top right with ZO or ZA, but that doesn't address the R issue. So, where do I play this Z? Let me see what this scores. 41 points, that's not bad to have in your back pocket, and this rack leave is pretty handy. Opponent's play of cat has massively dampened down bingo lanes. They've taken out the row B for stew. They've taken out row A onto this E. So what's left? Not many bingos end I or N or begin with O. So quite a non-bingo-y board, and I've got a 90-point lead, which is going to go to 130 if I play ZA. But is there a better play? I feel that there is. Let me see what ZO scores down here. 37 points, which is less. It's taking out these lanes, but I'm really not bothered by I or N. And this O is far less dangerous than it ordinarily would be because there isn't a U or V for out or over. 6 minutes on my clock. What am I going to do? I am minded to play ZO up here for 41. Well, I don't hit any more R's, which is good. I have erasers, which is good. So if opponent opens the board, well, they haven't for S lanes. But does erasers have an anagram? And I have in mind this Hoa spot because whore is good. I thought erasers might have an anagram, but perhaps it's eraser having the anagram of Seri. Hoa also takes an S, but I don't think Sierra's is good. Wow, big miss if there is one. What about the C and the L? So I have the less ending. Rareless, rearless, not good. What about the C? No. What about I and N? No. Wow. Am I missing something? On to HOA. Not that I can see. 6 tails to come, including a blank, including some Ys. How to sort this rack out. It's so bingo-y. 5 vowels out of 13. Ah, well, I've got an S and Clover takes an S, so why don't I just have an I on outscoring opponent? I lead by 120. This will put me 150 up, which is 2 bingos. It's a decent rack leave. There's a blank to fish for. I'm leaving 1 in the bag. I am going with this. Okay. Wow, interesting. I dodged the Ys. Is opponent going to bingo? H, Y, and Y. Possibly if one of the Ys is in the bag, they would have way-ear, although I'm not seeing anywhere for that. Let me look at my own rack. Is geotags good? Fortunately, it doesn't go anywhere. And I don't think it's good, but it could be. Do I have anything with this rack plus an R? Don't think so. What about the other floaters? I and N? No. And apart from geotags, I'm not seeing any other candidate bingos. G is fairly non-bingo-y, and double G even more so. I've got the AGE ending with Stog. So I'm not seeing anything, and I don't have any good scoring tiles. So I'm just relying on outrunning opponent, and I should be able to do that. I've got a really good lead, and there are only 8 unseen tiles, so this game is won. 32 for opponent. They've left themselves with just 6 tiles, so they can't bingo. 3 minutes on my clock. So how best to see this game out? If I can't go out in 1, I'm surely looking to go out in 2. How can I do that? Well, I've got a go down here. Can I go out with Jest? And I could also play Age in that spot, leaving Stog. 18 points. Well, can I go out with this rack? I have Stage through the A. So this rack makes Tegs and gets. Wow, such an unfriendly board for S's. 2 minutes on my clock. And I have Gelts. So I think I probably can go out in one. Let me get this down. I don't want to needlessly protract the end of the game. Great. Opponent doesn't block my out. Have they provided anything better? 2 minutes on my clock. So what about this Y? Possibly Geitz. Geist through the E. I think that might be my best. For 16. And the final score, 288 for opponent, 424 for me, a winning margin of 136 points. So a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Fantastic stuff. It was opponent to go first, Nanotube with no E. They play Nub. Jack for 40. Wow, where's that? Oh, because Nub takes a K in front. Wow, that would have been good. What do? I play Cammy for 24. Miles behind. Opponent's rack, they play Bap. And Jow, K4. Did I do that? No, I played Chow. Interesting. The second move down. Do you keep 3 vowels, including the J, or 3 consonants, including the J, or 4 consonants, including CH, which has synergy and is far more bingo-y than the J? Interesting. But I think a player of Jow would have placed a J over this double word square, so I think Chow is fine. Opponent's rack, missed bingo, Pontific. Wow. Onto this C, which I stuck out in the open. Fortunately for me, opponent doesn't see it. I've got this rack, which looks bingo-y, but no bingo. So I played Gin for 34. That looks fine. Opponent plays Fun. Phew, I have this very vowel-heavy rack, but quite bingo-y vowels, and fortunately for me there was no bingo, so I didn't miss one. I6 Kawaii, that's nice, 20 points. Does not take an S. Or maybe it does. I think it does. And I play AIA for 12 and a decent rack leave, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Kawaii takes an S. I think it means cuteness, so it could do. But in any event, Aya had the merit of having an R front hook, and I did have one. Alas, opponent also does, but fortunately can only score 19. My rack, and I play Variety for 77, 1 more point on offer, but only by playing in column 14, which opens access to the column 15 triple word squares. So I like my play. Opponent with vowels now plays IO, which leaves FedEx available for 48. And I have a decent lead, and I think I hang on to it. So, opponent plays Eyelid, and I have Emunge and Gunmen. Oh wow, Gunmen scores significantly more because the M gets doubled. I should have thought that through. Now, opponent's rack. Missed bingo. Ainsal, difficult one to see, takes an N front hook, and they play Slain. So they have only one S when they play Slain for just 27 points. Interesting. Now my rack, and I was very pleased to see Vuln, because it took me quite a while to find, but it's one of those moves which when you see it, you have a pretty good fuzzy feeling inside that it is the best play. Opponent plays Chew without an S. Wow. Okay. My rack, no bingo. D10. Doors, Def, O, etc. for 27. I think that would have been the play. Nice rack leave. Instead I played Dost for a fewer points. Now opponent with the Q plays it for 40 points, blocking my bingo. N4. Ah, well, Razor does play in row N. Decent score, decent rack leave. Opening row O. And I play ZO for the same score. And I think the rack leave's better, and I'm not opening a bingo lane. Opponent plays Clover. Phew, no missed bingo here. And rares, that was my play. Nice rack for opponent. The Y is in the bag, but no bingo. They play HI. Phew, no miss bingo for me either. So I'm looking to go out into B13, Oast. That's nice, keeping egg. Not sure I can go out in 2 spots with egg, but it's possible. Anyway, I play a go for 18. Opponent plays yearly, and finally Geest for 16 is best. So, super exciting game. Got off to a fairly good start. Where were the bingos? Variety. And wow, is that it? Just a 1 bingo game. Gosh. Okay, well, it must have been just fairly steady scoring, which enabled me to establish a lead and hang on to it. But great fun as always, so many thanks to opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.